Now on YouTube, it's time for some alternative commentary action with the Commentary Hub.
That's headed by Marina, and it's 2-1 to Arsenal.
Look at that pass! Goal for Manchester City!
Takes this corner, whips it in, it's headed and it's a goal, and it's that man, Gabriel.
Liverpool have equalised. Lovely improvisational puck from Curtis Jones.
Oh, what a goal! Wow, take it out! A very good evening to you all and welcome along to the alternative commentary of this EFL League One playoff semi-final second leg. It's Charlton Athletic against Wycombe Wanderers today, taking place at the Valley, and what a big game we've got in store. We will face Leyton Orient in the League One playoff final coming up at the end of the month. I'm Russ Fenning and I'll be your alternative commentator guiding you through the action this evening. Really good to have you along with us. If we've got some new listeners tonight, very good to have you joining us for the very first time this evening. We're live across the Commentary Hub to JB Sports and my very own personal Twitch channel as well this evening. Very good to have you along with us for this big game in League One. Yesterday we saw Leyton Orient knock out Stockport County 4-1 on penalties. After that finished 1-1 on the night, 3-3 on aggregate. If you're tuning for the very first time today, do let us know where you're listening from and how the weather is for you this evening. It's a bitterly cold night. It's the third of this game. It's going off ready to kick off, and it's going to be a big game to see who plays at Wembley Stadium. We've got the new setup for tonight. Let us know if you do like this setup better, or whether you like our previous setup, which you can see in our other matches that we've done this season on the channel. Do let us know your preference and we'll get involved and we will take your feedback on board come the end of tonight's game. And we'll be having this setup as well for the FA Cup final, which we've got coming up on the main Commentary Hub channel, also on Focus on Football and Storm FM at the weekend, as well as Manchester City try to win that as they take on Crystal Palace at the weekend. Paul James will be your man on commentary for that one of the weekend. Be with me, Russ Vernon, tonight, guiding you through the action as we bring you Charlton Athletic against Wycombe Wanderers. Will Wycombe prevail, or will the Addicts come out on top at the Valley? All to play for in this game this evening. The officials are in the tunnel ahead of kick-off. Still two other players. There's a Charlton captain in there, number 10. Doherty is a captain there, and Grimmer is a captain for Wycombe as they lead the sides out onto the field of play in what is a big game this evening in the battle for the second place in the League One playoff final. The teams are out onto the tunnel right now, and very shortly we'll go through the starting lineups for this big game as the teams emerge from the Valley, from the tunnel, down in the corner, away to my left hand side. A massive game we've got this evening as we bring you this big game this evening. I'm Russ Vernon, I'll be keeping you across action this evening. If you put your comments in, we'll give you shout outs for the game as well, as we will see who comes out on top between Charlton Athletic and Wycombe Wanderers. And we'll now take a look at the teams, starting off with Charlton Athletic, and they will line up with Mannion in goal. Ramsey, Jones, Gillespie and Edwards at the back. Two changes for them. Coventry and Doherty complete the midfield. They stay the same. Small and Gilbert coming to the side this evening. Campbell plays on the left with Godden up front. Going out is Watson, who's on the bench, and Berry, who misses out altogether this evening. The Charlton Athletic, Matt Godden, really good striker, informed striker as well. Let's take a look at the Wycombe side then, and they made two changes tonight. Revazoli comes in as Will Norris is ill. Revazoli comes in between the sticks, and Gareth McCleary comes in for Fred Onyedinma, who drops down to the bench. Shamal George is the substitute goalkeeper for Mike Dodds of Wycombe Wanderers. Steven Adam Reach plays a left back. 3-man midfield with Humphries, Lee and Simmons moving back after he played just behind the striker in the last game. Richard Coney, the League One player and Young Player of the Year, starts in attack for Mike Dodds' side this evening, as we almost said now, ready for kick-off as we get ready for this big game this afternoon and this evening, depending where you are across the world. I'm Russ Finnan. I'm your commentator for this game this afternoon. Paul Jameson says a new look is fabulous. Thank you very much, Paul. Hopefully you're doing well, my friend, and hopefully the weather out in Canada is going really. Contrap 2 logo in the top corner as well is what you want to see. Sonny Bradley, 17 clearances in the first leg draw at Charlton on Sunday. He'll be looking to emulate that this evening as he tries to have Wycombe Wanderers get into the League One playoff final. The kick-off very much fast approaching. The players are just going through last minute rituals, taking on board some last minute instructions as they get ready for kick-off. Both teams looking forward to this one and be interested to see how it goes this evening. There's Nathan Jones, the manager of Charlton Athletic. Not won his 5th playoff games in managerial career. 3 draws and 2 defeats for the Charlton Athletic box. Looking to win his first one in 6. Mike Dodds was in charge of Sunderland recently as caretaker boss. He's won 7 out of his 19 games in as Wycombe boss. 5 draws, 7 defeats. Looking to add in an 8th win in 20 matches. And we will be about to get this game underway. Ramsey, brilliant game of the weekend. He will look to continue that there as well for Charlton Athletic, as he will look to make sure that Wycombe will be unable to get past Davis. The coin toss is being done right now with the managers. There's Alan Kirbishley, the former Charlton Athletic boss. He will be looking forward to making sure his former side gets to Wembley. Great manager he was back in the day, and one that has been a great along the time in charge there. The Wycombe players just going through their last minute huddles ahead of kickoffs. One thing left for me to do is tell you about the match officials. It's Dean Whitestone, the match referee, assisted by Paul Hodgkinson and Andrew Dallison. Matt Donoghue is the 4th official today. I can tell you there is no VAR involvement in this evening's game, which is something fans will be pleased to hear. Almost said then, ready to go at the Valley. Charlton Athletic against Wycombe Wanderers for a place in the League One playoff final against Leyton Orient. Wycombe are about to get the game off and underway. Attacking the goal away to my right hand side in this face off. Charlton attacking the goal away to my left. And the referee just checking everything's also with his officials. And the 2 teams. And we're now, are we? No, just yet. We're at a false start there. I can tell you right now that we will be underway very, very shortly. Referee just making sure everyone's ready to go. It will be number 20 for Wycombe. Humphries gets off and underway then in this second leg, and we're now underway in the game this evening. Russ Finnan getting you through the action as we bring you the action this evening, as the ball is towards the near side now for the game's first throw, but the offside flag is being raised, and there will be a free kick to Wycombe Wanderers early on in this game, which will be taken by Luke Lee, the number 10. The likes of Bradley and Taylor is up from the back. Rim again forward there as well. Adam Reach getting up there as well. He's a dangerous player. Been on the block a bit. Played the Sheffield Wednesday amongst teams as Lee sends this ball in towards the penalty area. Flicked on, looking towards Reach. But he takes the deflection off of the number 5, Jones, and behind for the game's first corner inside the opening 50 seconds of the game. Charlton Athletic 0, Wycombe Wanderers 0. If you're just tuning into us here on the commentary, Russ Finnan guiding you through the action this evening. Early corner then for the visitors as they look to try and get their mark on the game. Number 2, Ramsey's grappling hold of Taylor. Edwards trying to get on end of Bradley there as the referee, Dean Whitestone, just has a word with the Wycombe and Charlton players as they took it quickly, but they've had to retake it here because of the interventions. So the corner kick will be retaken by Wycombe Wanderers. Charlton 0, Wycombe Wanderers 0 as we look to see it as Ramsey's grabbing hold of Taylor again, and Edwards is grabbing hold of Bradley again here. And Kone round the back as well. Doherty trying to grab hold of him, and he's grabbed hold of his shirt here, Doherty, as he won't let go of the Wycombe Wanderers striker. Udo is being closely watched there by Thierry Small. The corner kick will now come in from Wycombe Willett as they make a late run into the penalty area. It's taken short to the edge of the penalty area. Laid off here for Adam Reach, who tries to put a cross into the penalty area. Deflects off of the number 17 there for Charlton, which is Gilbert, and is cleared away by Charlton this time, but reaches winning back and he's going towards the penalty. Adam Reach, brilliant ball. Udo trying to cut the ball back. There's actually McLeary. He's gone behind for yet another corner, and this is a good start here for Wycombe Wanderers. The opening 2.5 minutes, a second corner for them, and they will try and do something similar. Humphries gone out wide there. Taylor being grabbed hold of again. Cunning in there too, and there's Udo being closely watched. Reaches on the edge of the penalty area, watching closely as he comes to Humphries. Takes touch out to his feet and loves a dangerous crossing and punched away brilliantly there by Mannion. And Humphries gets it there again. Just keeps the ball in play initially, and it goes out of play. It will be a throw in to Wycombe Wanderers. Came off the Charlton man last. The Charlton fans in that stand over the far side are not happy with the referee Dean Whitestone for giving it the way of the Chairboys. And up towards 3.5 minutes played, is still 0-0 between Charlton Athletic and Wycombe Wanderers at the end of this first half, as Charlton will try and come forward. Can they get their noses in front here as they will look to make their way forward here? Will Wycombe Wanderers? Rimmer delivers a cross in towards the penalty area, just over the edge there of the striker Richard Kone, and behind for a throw-in. And good bit of play this in the end for Charlton there. Did he make sure the attack didn't come off for Wycombe Wanderers, but good start by the visitors. Really good start in the end as they will try and bring you. We'll have a winner tonight, so if he remains goalless or any form of tie, we will go to extra time, and we will have potentially penalties as well. But we'll keep you bang up to date with this game today. You may notice on the screen tonight your two lineups and the managers' names there in Nathan Jones and Mike Dodds. We'll keep you updated with any changes, and if there's a red card or anything, you'll see who scored it on our screens as well, on your screens as well. If you're listening and you're partially sighted, we will describe what's happening as well for you, and we'll tell you what minutes being played in the game as we're coming up towards the 5-minute mark. Shortly remains Charlton Athletic 0, Wycombe Wanderers 0. If you're just tuning into us for the first time tonight on the channel, very good to have you on board. If you want to get your comments in and let us know you are listening, you can do so. Keep them clean. There's a family-friendly show. We'd like to keep you updated with everything that's happening this evening as we see Charlton Athletic and Wycombe Wanderers. Free kick to Wycombe. Ravizoli, the goalkeeper, in for the man who started the weekend, Norris, who missed out through illness tonight. And it's a ball hit forward, and he's headed down and away by Charlton. But Bradley bad there, he's straight down the field, and there's the number 7, Tyrese Campbell, trying to close down his manners now. Here comes Wycombe Wanderers with Grimmer in space. Wonderful player from Grimmer, and infield it goes there to Humphries. How wide it goes again to Grimmer. Grimmer drops it infield and gets the ball back as Wycombe trying to come down the right hand side. Free kick found by Simmons there, and a free kick to the home side, Charlton Athletic, and their goalkeeper all in orange. Will Mannion will get this ball forward. Now, Charlton are in red, Wycombe are in their home strip of blue as well. Light and dark blue patterned shirts, dark blue shorts, dark blue socks. Charlton in red shirts, white shorts, red socks. The referee is in a lime green top, black shirts and black socks. As the ball is sent forward by Will Mannion. 0-0 is a scoreline from the first leg as well, and the aggregate scores at the bottom of your screens. Next to the man who's doing the commentary this evening, the shot comes in there from Campbell. He breaks out for Doherty, and Doherty strikes a goal, and Ravizoli gets down, diving to his right hand side to make a comfortable save in the end there. It remains 0-0 on 7 minutes, and good start from Charlton to get back into the game after a bright start by the visitors, Wycombe Wanderers, tonight, as the Chairboys look to beat the Addicts in the semi-final second leg. If you're tuning in for the very first time, hello, welcome along to you. I'm Russ Vernon, your match commentator this evening, as the ball is sent forward there by Charlton Athletic through Campbell to chase, and Gilbert was there too, as he's picked up here by Gillespie. Wonderful play into the path of Edwards. Edwards gets it forward into Gilbert. Gilbert tries to get Campbell away. And coming across there brilliantly was Taylor to pull the ball out for a throw-in. Well, it's going for a corner actually. It looked like we're in the side for a throw-in, but the officials have given a corner. So a corner will be taken. No set piece scores. This is in League One. Was Lincoln City with 31. Exeter have got 25. Charlton, who have a set piece now, have got 22 goals from set pieces. And they're their 23rd as Campbell has it. But for Gilbert, trying to reverse ball in towards Campbell. Too much on that ball from Gilbert and out of play for a throw. If you're tuning in for the very first time today, welcome along to the channel. Russ Vernon with you today, this afternoon. If you're tuning in for the very first time, hello, welcome along. We'll keep you bang up today with what is happening tonight in this game. There is some other games going off up and down the country in the Spanish leagues. There's a National League playoff game as well, promotion playoff as well. We'll keep you updated with those scores as and when we can do so, as we bring you the game between Charlton Athletic and Wycombe Wanderers. And the Valley 0-0 is the scoreline, coming up towards 9 minutes on the clock. If you're tuning in for the very first time today, a very good evening to you. We'll keep you bang up to date in the end. Here comes the number 16, Edwards, who keeps the play well here when he drops the ball. Back it goes to Gillespie as Charlton try and get their noses in front in this game and try and cause a few problems with the ball. Sent forward is too much on that, as Small couldn't reach it, and he's through to the goalkeeper, Ravizoli, who's in between the sticks tonight. And Mike Dodds sets his side up well at the weekend at home and got the draw to bring into this game. Almost got the point. That's what you normally get if it's a draw was a normal league game. Whereas it's the playoffs, it was on the half time in the tie. This is the second half of the tie as McCleary trying to get the end of the ball there, and he's cleared away. We're not trying to feed in Gareth McCleary. Now down at the other end, Charlton Athletic are on the charge forward. Here's the number 24, Matty Godden, who just slowed down the players. Number 7, Campbell, is fouled and he remains goalless. If you're tuning in for the very first time today, hello, welcome along to the coverage here on the Commentary Hub 2, also live on JB Sports and my own personal Twitch channel as well. Russ P. Vernon _92 is where we are streaming on Twitch tonight. And if you're listening via Twitch, you're about to go out in your car, you can change it so you can just have the all one and listen to us while you're driving around in your car like a normal radio station. As Gilbert delivers a free kick in towards the penalty area, he'll break towards the edge of the penalty area, comes out to Campbell on this near side of the left. He delivers a cross into the penalty area. Humphries is there to clear the ball up towards McCleary, who's trying to go an end of that there. Kone in there too, as here comes Small now. Wonderful run from Thierry Small down that far side, and there is the lead to defend well, and he just gone can't keep the ball in play, but starts in a good promising position for a potential long throw here from Charlton Athletic into the penalty area, try and cause Wickham a few problems. And brilliant run again from Small down the near side and just overran it. Lee kept it initially and he overran it, and then he tried to control it and he's out for a throw, which Edwards, who normally is playing a left back, comes across to take, and he will look to launch it into the penalty area. They've got Gillespie and Jones inside the penalty area. It comes towards Jones, who can't get an end of it. He breaks. Wickham get the ball clear. Cody trying to get after this, the League One player and young player of the year, and he gets Ramsey to put it back to his goalkeeper, Mannion, and it remains 0-0. Good game in the end for Charlton Athletic, and Wickham, good bit of pressure there from Charlton, but Wickham recovered well to make sure nothing elapsed from that last attack in the game as Charlton will try and come forward again looking for Terry Small, but Wickham just defended well as Lee just sends the ball forward looking towards Richard Cornet, controls well, gives the ball away to Gilbert, sends the ball forward looking for Gordon to chase. He does. Charlton give possession away to Wickham as Humphreys and Lee just trying to come forward, and Wickham have won him. Have lost it as good as his head penalty, low cross in. No one was gambling in there. Harris Campbell was slid in, but he got an end of it. But that's a brilliant bit of play from Matty Godden. Read the situation well as they won the ball back. He's onside here. Godden pulls the ball across, and had he got there, Campbell, it's been a simple tapping on 13 minutes. But as it stands, it remains 0-0 between Charlton Athletic and Wickham Wanderers. That's five appearances for Matty Godden. He scored 2 goals against Burton, 1 against Northampton, 1 against Huddersfield, 2 against Wigan. So it's prolific in the Valleys. Campbell goes outside the penalty area looking for a penalty kick. Referee said, no, I want to see that one again as Coney now picks up possession against Ramsey. He's out of play. And will he be throwing to Wickham? Look at this again. Campbell brilliantly run, pushing the band there from Grimmer. I have seen them given, those kind of decisions, but it would have been soft had it have been given, in my opinion. Let me know what you think of. You watch as there's a man down for Wickham Wanderers, but Charlton are playing on. Wickham wanted the ball to go out of play, but Charlton are continuing here, and this is a controversial moment if Charlton were to score. As is a brilliant bit of run from the number 16 Edwards, low cross in, deflects, and Grimmer clears it away out of play, so the Wickham man can receive some treatment now. And there's a man running onto the field. I'm just trying to work out who's gone down. I think it's Coney who's down off the ball here. It is Coney under the challenge of Ramsey. He went down and slid into the manager there, Jones. The way to there wasn't a free kick. Tried to continue when he came back onto the field. He couldn't and went down. He stayed down. And he's still down here, Richard Coney, and he'll be a big blow for Wickham if he has to come off. Luke Turton is on, says no chance that was a penalty. Luke, I didn't think he was either, my friend, but like I say, I have seen them given though some, and if he had been given, he would have been soft. But I have seen them given as we looked at it again from this angle this time. Not enough contact there from the push behind, but maybe the challenge from Lee in the face. As Grimmer pushes him in back, Lee puts his arm across his face and was already going down there, so I want to give that either. I haven't seen it again, but like I say, I have seen those kind of decisions given in the end, and it remains 0-0 between Charlton Athletic and Wickham Wanderers this evening. Lully having a word there with Dan Whitestone, the match referee. Well, we've got a break in play in the National League Promotion Playoff qualifying round. Rochdale are 2-1 up against Southend United. Ronnie on 8 minutes, Bird on 28 for Rochdale, Ralph equalised on 22. In the La Liga, it finished Osasuna 2, Atletico Madrid 0, Rayo Vallecano 2, Real Betis 0, Opus 8 kickoffs for Espanyol against Barcelona, and Getafe against Athletic Club as well, as we bring you the coverage of the League One. We'll keep you updated with the results of those matches in the National League playoff and also the La Liga games. We'll bring you some results of those right until the end of our match this evening. Charlton Athletic 0, Wycombe Wanderers 0 is the scoreline as Jones will come over halfway, finding Gilbert out wide towards Thierry Small. Gilbert can't get there again as Wycombe win the ball back as Lee sends this ball forward up towards McLean. He's out of play for a throw-in, and Kone is allowed back onto the field of play now, having receiving some treatment a few moments ago at the Valley. 0-0 is the scoreline if you're just tuning into us this afternoon, as there is a throw from to Wycombe Wanderers, which are going to be having to take just inside their own half, which will be taken by Adam Reach, as Wycombe will look to reach the playoff final, as McCleary now tries to get the return towards Kone, and Ramsey can't keep, there you go, out for a corner. He got there, did Kone, but just couldn't take it in his stride. Headed forward again for McCleary in towards the edge of the penalty, and Udo loses out. And there's Gilbert to clear up towards Godden. Bradley wins the header initially. Lee chests it down and sends this ball for McCleary after this. Kone too, as McCleary tries to put Jones under pressure. He does, but Jones is allowed to let the ball win out of play, and it will go behind for a goal kick to Charlton Athletic. Almost 18 minutes gone. Charlton Athletic 0, Wycombe Wanderers 0 is the scoreline this evening. Russ Vernon keeping you abreast of what's happening in this game and as the other games as well this evening, as we'll keep you up to date this evening, and we'll keep you up to date with all the other scores from the Lenos playing in the final that have been confirmed so far in the playoffs as well, before we finish this evening with League 2 playoffs being finalised tomorrow and Saturday. Unfortunately, no coverage of any of the League 2 playoff matches here on the Commentary Hub 2 JB Sports, focus on football, Storm FM, on my very own personal Twitch channel, Russ P Vernon _92. If you're tuning in on my Twitch channel tonight and you're about to go out and go on your travels in your car, you want to listen to it in your car, just change it to audio only. Connect your phone up to the car like you would as if you listen to through Bluetooth, with your Bluetooth speaker in your car, and put us on that way, and you'll be able to listen to the commentary in full from Charlton Athletic against Wycombe Wanderers, taking place at the Valley this evening, with yours truly on commentaries. Here's Kone to find McCleary, and Wycombe who are away down the left hand side, low crossing looking towards Kone again, who was coming in after playing the ball initially out wide, headed forward there by Lee, and Udo gets it to Humphries. Udo again, lovely turn there from the number 7 Simmons, with his ball out wide was poor in the end there, and it remains 0-0. Almost just over 19.5 minutes played in the match. It remains Charlton Athletic 0, Wycombe Wanderers 0. If you're tuning in for the very first time today, thank you very much for doing so, as we keep you bang up to date with the scores this evening. What a game we have got this evening to bring you, as we see Charlton trying to come forward down their right hand side, but Wycombe defending really well, as there is Richard Kone to bring under his spell. He loses out there in the end to the number 6 Connor Coventry. Some may think Charlton are playing with 22 players, not just 11, having Connor Coventry in their side, with the name Coventry in the starting lineup. I can tell you it is for the Connor Coventry who used to play for West Ham United, and a spell on loan at Rotherham United as well. Found at home here at the Valley Charlton in South East London. And here they come is Gillespie forward, as Charlton lose out through Dirty. Now Wycombe lose out as they lost out there, as Gillespie won the ball back. Here's Gilbert. Wonderful play from Gilbert there as he jinks away from 2 and plays a crossfield pass for Edwards, who just gets there head of Grimmer and gets there head of Udo. Now Campbell takes over from Udo as Udo bites back and wins the ball back, and Humphries finds Grimmer, who sends the ball forward. There's McCleary trying to win the header there. He breaks on halfway. Wonderful bit of play from Charlton to keep possession. Out wide for Edwards on this near side of the left. Cuts in field. There he goes to Doherty. Brilliant bit of play to Coventry. Good ball from Coventry out wide. There to Campbell. Campbell attacks down the left hand side. Gets to the bar line. Chips the ball in towards the back post. Small brings it down on his thigh. Under pressure from Adam Reach. He does well there, Thierry Small. It looks to deliver across towards the penalty. Campbell at the back post. Is he pulled down there? The referee, Dean Whitestone, says no. And he bounces behind for a goal kick. And we love to see that again. See whether that should have been a penalty kick there. But I don't think it should have been. And he was never going to get the end of the ball in any case, in my opinion. And for me, not a yellow card offence there, as we see Charlton Athletic 0, Wycombe Wanderers 0. Wycombe fans in that stand. Away to my left hand side, part of that stand for Charlton fans, part of that stand for Wycombe fans. And the Wycombe fans are making quite a lot of noise so far. Away to my left hand side, as it is Wycombe just knocking the ball around. Well, back to Ramazzoli in goal for them this evening. It remains 0-0 as Charlton sends this ball long down for McCleary. Can't get the end on the end of that for Wycombe as he tries to bring Wycombe forward. But here's kind of Coventry, who does well back to Gillespie and into Jones. Jones sends the ball forward, looking for the run there of Godden. Too much on that ball though for Godden to go on end of, and Ravazzoli picks up possession and will look to get Wycombe started again. So he sends this ball long downfield, looking towards Udo, and he goes out to play for a throw. Gillespie went down there looking for a free kick. The referee said no, as we play on, as Rimmer comes forward here to take the throw in. 0-0 is the scoreline if you're just tuning into us here on the commentary of this evening. And there is Grimmer, wonderful bit of play now as Grimmer looks to get the ball in towards the penalty area, and there's a full shot laid off, a chance for Lee, and he's deflected wide. Charlton got lucky there. They wanted a penalty, did Wycombe, after Lee's strike was blocked, and the referee said no, it was on near his side, and I do agree with that there. Would have been harsh to give that a penalty against Doherty's arm. Right inside his chest, went away from his body, was right next to his body, and that would have been harsh had that been given as a spot kick this evening. There's some lane movements here, Cunny in there, so too the likes of Bradley and Taylor, as Wycombe take a ball in. It is headed away by Connor Coventry by there doing the defending. As there's Lee, gets it down the line for McCleary. Gareth McCleary loves to deliver across towards the back post. As they've gone down, man going inside the penalty. There's a free kick to Charlton in there, fouled by Richard Cunny. It looked like inside the penalty area, which was spotted by referee Dean Whitestone, and he was the. There's actually Bradley was being penalised here for bringing down Edwards, where, in my opinion, Edwards brought down Bradley, and that should have been a penalty to Wycombe rather than a free kick to Charlton. But I can't change that. The referee is the other one who can decide, and he decided a free kick went the way of Charlton Athletic. If you're watching this game along with our commentary this evening, let me know what you think, guys. What do you think? Should there have been a penalty there to Wycombe, or did the referee get it right with a free kick to Charlton? As Charlton send the ball forward through Doherty, looking for Small, and Bradley tidies up to have a Zolly, who takes a touch and sends this ball long downfield. They're edged up and away by Gillespie, and he's headed by Coventry, picked off by Udo, and now Lee Humphries gets it from Lee. Now here comes Coney, back to Lee, who takes a touch and delivers across towards a penalty towards Udo, and McCleary was in there too, but straight through into the arms of Mannion. As we look at this again, wonderful ball in towards a penalty, just too much on that ball in the end there. It remains 0-0 if you are tuning in for the very first time this evening. Hello, welcome along to our coverage. If you want to see what our former graphics would like to compare the two, go and pick another video on the channel. Have a look how we did them and then have a look at this and let us know which ones you prefer. Know that Paul, one of our commentators and our colleagues, prefers this way over looking as Wycombe have the ball back with their goalkeeper Ravazzoli, who sends this ball long downfield up towards Kone and he bounced out of play for a goal kick. No goal kick, throw-in should I say, to Charlton Athletic. There's very big rusty tonight. It is because this is my first commentary in quite a while. Also, do go easy on me, as his song goes from Adele. As there is Charlton with the ball forward looking towards Campbell. And it's cleared away there by Wycombe. Through reach, out to play for a throw-in to Charlton Athletic. Midway inside the Wycombe half of the field of play. Just in line, a couple of yards away from the Wycombe dugout. On that far side, Gilbert back to Ramsey there and back to Gilbert again, who sends a crossfield pass to pick out Edwards, who brought it down well on this near side. And here's Humphries, wins the ball back to Wycombe and he's fouled. And Doherty there, just after getting the free kick quick, kicked the ball downfield there. And I have seen people get booked for kicking the ball away like that. And I think that's what Wycombe players are saying, that he kicked the ball away there, Doherty, and are wanting a yellow card for the Charlton captain. I don't think Dean Whitestone will be applying the yellow card there to the Addicks skipper. Lee will look to send this ball forward. Heads up and away by Charlton Athletic and volleyed clear by Gillespie. And headed back by Lee to his goalkeeper Ravazzoli there, and it remains 0-0. If you're tuning in for the very first time today, hello, welcome along. Do let us know where you're listening from. I want to give a shout out to a friend of mine who said he was going to be listening alongside Owen. Hopefully you're doing okay, my friend. Thank you for tuning in tonight. And also a big shout out to Shay as well, who said he would be trying to tune in this evening as well. Hopefully you're both doing fantastically well this evening. Also, anybody else who's listening, like Elle and the team over from TikTok who may tune in tonight as well. Also, big shout out to Paul James, one of my colleagues, and also to Mike. So Mike said he would try and tune in as well. Hopefully everyone's doing okay there, and hopefully everyone over on Faye's channel show are doing well this evening and I'll be joining you guys later after this commentary has been done. Here comes Charlton Athletic coming forward as Grimmer wins it back for Wycombe on this near side as he brings the ball forward. And now Charlton Athletic will knock the ball around well as they switch the play there. Charlton looking for small, but Wycombe win the ball back well as Cody gets it from Reach, and Reach gets it back again. Infield to Simmons, and now here's Humphries. It would have been a bit tricky if Rotherham United got to the playoffs and played against Wycombe, because Wycombe and Rotherham have a player called Cameron Humphries. Maybe not for much longer in terms of Rotherham United, though. He's been offered a new contract. We've got no news on yet whether he's accepted the new contract offer put to him by Miller's boss Matt Amshaw. And there is Grimmer for Wycombe Wanderers. And now Wycombe just knocking the ball around well at the back there, and he's trying to bring the play forward. In the end, there it remains 0-0 between Charlton Athletic and Wycombe Wanderers. Here is Grimmer, who takes a throwing backwards there into the path there of Taylor, and he brings this ball to Ravazzoli, who clears long downfield looking for the run of Coney, who tries to win the header there. There's Humphries to help him forward, and he can't go on the end of that there, Coney, or Udo was in there too. It was Banu Ramazzola who will keep all of possession in the back and just take his time on the ball. Coming up towards 31.5 minutes played. It remains Charlton 0, Wycombe Wanderers 0, and we'll then how many minutes of stoppage time there'll be as well, and you'll see that on your screens as well as Nulo graphics tonight for the first time on the channel since the start of the season. Trialing them out in the playoffs tonight. If it works fine, we'll be continuing to go live this for the rest of this season and the start of and for the entirety of next season as well. Myself, Russman and Paul James will be, and many others will be learning to do the way that we are doing tonight. Big help, and a big help to one of my friends and behind this, helping us set up this stream behind the scenes. Big thanks to you, you know who you are, to showing us how this works and getting it in for us as it goes, as we get ready for the game this evening, as we will be ready to see a throw-in for Wycombe in a moment. Gilbert and Lee just having a word, being spoken to there by the referee Dean Whitestone, as Adam Reach will look to take a throw-in long downfield for Wycombe here. And Charlton fans and management team aren't happy there, and the players weren't happy how long he was taking there. There's Lee, who's out to Godden, who sends the ball forward, looking for Campbell to chase Bradley after this as well. And Campbell is being pulled by Bradley there, and that should be a free kick to Charlton. In fact, it's only a goal kick to Wycombe Wanderers. And there is, and that should have been, in my opinion, having seen it again, a free kick to Charlton. Bradley had grabbed all of his shirt and was pulling Small down there to make sure Small couldn't get on any of that ball as he come forward. And that, in my opinion, should have been a free kick. It was Campbell actually who was being pulled rather than Small, as Campbell come across to this far side to try and help out the attack down there. With Small having to drop back into midfield to help out the midfielders for Charlton this evening. And he's out of play for a throw into Wycombe. Just going into 34th minute of the game. And towards the final 11 minutes of this first half is still goalless between the two sides on the night and on aggregate. Will we see a goal in the game before half time or at all tonight, or will we head all the way to penalty kicks? And stay tuned for that, because we will have a referee for the penalties as well, should it go that far. We'll bring you the game up here this evening as we bring you this game tonight. It remains Charlton 0, Wycombe 0 in the 34th, which was the 35th minute of the game. Simmons is down on the field of plays, having to receive some treatment. He's just having to speak to the medical staff as he's on the floor. Some of the other medical staff on now to treat him as well. There is a game tomorrow night, Walsall against Chesterfield in the League 2 playoffs. A friend of mine, John Miller, a big Walsall fan, good luck to you and to your team, John. Hopefully you get a positive result that you want. And then on Saturday is the other League 2 playoff semi-final, AFC Wimbledon against Notts County in that one this evening. Well, Saturday afternoon, should I say, but in this evening's match, Charlton against Wycombe, scoreline is 0-0. There is the Chairboys boss, Mike Dodds, having a word with Sonny Bradley, passing on some instructions he wants his team to do. They're just taking on a bit of fluids. Luckily, having a word there with Mike Dodds as well. The Charlton captain, Greg Doherty, there was having a word with the referee, Dean Whitestone. There's Nathan Jones, just passing on a few bits of encouragement to his team there as they gathered round, as they were having a few drinks, as Simmons received a bit of treatment there towards the end of this first half. Simmons just goes and gets a drink as the game will be back underway with Jones having possession for Charlton Athletic. 0-0 is the scoreline between Charlton and Wycombe as Charlton now got the game back underway as East Connor Coventry. How wide it goes to that far side and Ramsey has possession. Infield to Jones. Now here's Gillespie, who sends the ball forward into Campbell. Good control from Campbell. Gillespie has it once more. He goes back to Jones inside the centre circle. Now and halfway is Ramsey. Down the line it goes to Coventry, who sends the ball forward looking for Doherty, who chased after that, running out of play. Actually, it was Gilbert who played the ball down the line. As Gilbert dropped back into the defensive midfield alongside Connor Coventry. As Doherty made that way forward. They flicked those two. Well, those three in midfield. And there's going to be a long throw here from Charlton Athletic, which will be taken by number 16, Edwards, who is down on our team sheet as a left back. He takes his shot though to Coventry this time as they try and work a different route to goal. Coventry delivers a crossing towards Matty Godden inside the penalty area. Godden chips the ball up and how is he pulled down? Oh my word, Jones. That really should be 1-0 to Charlton Athletic. How missed that? A brilliant crossing from Matty Godden, who's onside again. Brilliant cross, and Jones heads it wide of target. It was like it comes off back of his head. And a cross, back across, score. It's like he's heading back across, score rather than towards goal. And he goes wide. And that really should be 1-0 Charlton Athletic there. How has he missed? It's easier to score from there than it is to miss. Well, it was anyway, in my opinion. Lloyd Jones, the Charlton Player of the Year, was just pretty wide. Maybe they're regretting that choice, giving him Player of the Year with a miss like that if he proves to cost his side. And Luke Riley says that's a sitter. Now really should be 1-0 to Charlton there. Wycombe have had their chances as well, but Charlton have had the better of them as he's small. Brilliant turn away from reach. He's taking the penalty area now. Gilbert delivers a cross in. He's blocked. He goes behind. It will be a corner kick to Charlton Athletic. Brilliant spin there from Small to get away from Adam Reach. Brilliant play in the end, and you've got to say that has been fantastic. As Small almost thought about coming for a short option there, but he's been told not to do that. Edwards is up from the back, so too is Gillespie and Jones. Corner comes in. It goes to Jones this time, headed back across score. There's a foul in there. Jones snapping his squares up to Grimmer there. And Udo puts him away. It's Jones who's the fall there. And he's trying to get, in my opinion, Grimmer booked here. Well, this, for me, is Jones's fault. He's the instigator in all this. Grimmer did nothing wrong. Jones is the instigator in all of this. And if anybody were to get booked here, I don't think the referee didn't want Jones to book anyone. If they were, it would have been Jones for me. As you look here, Jones just gets up as he's come off of the floor, went to challenge for the ball, and then just squares up to Grimmer there. Jones was the instigator there on that incident with Grimmer there, in my opinion. If you think he's all the way around, do let me know, but your opinion is valid for that. Then remains 0-0 as Charlton will try and come forward and get the opening goal just before the half-time interval. Here is Edwards, who will try and make that happen. He has to go to Gillespie and back there to Jones, who was involved in that altercation a few moments ago with the Wycombe right back. Ball is pumped downfield and headed away from danger as here comes Charlton Athletic to come forward with Small. Wonderful play from Small. He's got Gilbert inside of him, but Lee's there to intercept before Gilbert can get an end of it. And Wickham defend well and clear away through Alan Reach. Up to clearing Kone up there. And he's now brilliantly done here. It's Charlton 0, Wickham 0 is the scoreline. Ball played forward as Campbell tries to go on the end of this one here against Grim, and he does. Campbell inside the penalty area now. Pulls the ball back to the edge of the penalty for Doherty. Doherty low cross and he's blocked. He's behind. It will be a corner kick to Charlton just before the end of the first half as we enter the final 3 minutes of the end of this first half. It remains Charlton 0, Wickham Wanderers 0 in the League One playoff semi-final second leg. Russ Vernon guiding you through the action this evening. Luke disagreed with me there, which is fine. Grimmer said something first. All about opinions. As is Gilbert to deliver this. Following the man gone down inside the penalty. Charlton believe for a penalty. Nothing given there, and I don't think there was anything wrong with that incident there. It remains 0-0 between Charlton and Wickham as we head towards the end of this first half into the final coming up towards the final 2 minutes plus stoppage time. At the end of this first half, I'd probably say about a couple of minutes if I were to hazard a guess of stoppage time to be added on here in the end of this first period. Corner challenging then, he heads the ball out of play. I'm just looking at this again as the corner comes in. That should be a penalty. Gordon's being dragged down by his neck there by Luke Lee, and that should have been a penalty to Charlton in my opinion. There, as it is Small gets it for Lee. There clearing the ball away. He should have been penalised a few moments ago in my opinion, dragging down the Charlton striker by the neck as Charlton will try and come forward, but Wickham read the danger well. As here's Lee again, he's been involved in that. Listen, it's gone down here this time, and Kone collects. There's a free kick. Doherty has got into the referee's noble there, Greg Doherty, and the Charlton man will pick up the game's first yellow card of the game on 44 minutes for the late challenge there on Luke Lee, and in my opinion that is the wrong decision. If anything, for me, Lee catches Greg Doherty there, and that's the yellow card for the Charlton Athletic man, Greg Doherty, in the end there, and it remains 0-0 into the final minute plus stoppage time in this first half. Who will come out on top as the free kick will be taken by Lee, the man who was appeared to have been fouled as the ball breaks for Richard Cunningham inside the penalty area. Adam Reach lines up a shot which is blocked. Gilbert chests it down well. Says it for Small to clear away, looking for Campbell who brings it down halfway. There's Gilbert. Tries to get Small away over the top. And Small, if he can get out of Lee, would have been away there. But Lee does well to defend. Will give the ball away to Gilbert. Gilbert will come forward here for Charlton into the first half stoppage time at the end of this first half. And into 3 additional minutes at the end of the first half. I thought it would be about 2, but we have got 3 minutes at the end of this first period. It's Charlton 0, Wickham Wanderers 0 at the end of this first half. Will we see a goal as Small takes on his man towards the penalty? A shot comes in, cleared away from the edge of the penalty and the back in, cleared away again as Wickham defending for the lives at the end of this first half. Here's Jones for Gilbert. Gilbert delivers a cross in towards the penalty area looking for Godden. It's cleared away by Bradley in there. Caleb Taylor in there defending as well. Good piece of defending there from the Wickham centre backs. He's still 0-0 at the end of towards the end of this first half. Ball in towards the penalty area. It goes down. There does Campbell. Goal kick only is what has been given. Sonny Bradley defending that really, really well there. And it remains Charlton 0, Wickham Wanderers 0. If we look at this again, nothing wrong with that. That will be a goal kick and a definite goal kick there. As we look at this chance again a few minutes ago, as the ball came in, Grimmer managed to clear Eddie back in, and then a brilliant clearance from Bradley to stop Matty Godden from getting then. Thierry Small has been impressive in that first half for me, as Charlton look to cause a few problems towards the end of this first period. It's Charlton 0, Wycombe Wanderers 0 at the end of this first period. As the ball is sent forward, looking towards Matty Godden. Too much on that ball though for the Charlton man to go and end of the former Stevenage man as well as Matty Godden. And it remains Charlton 0, Wycombe Wanderers 0. If you just run into us today, Charlton, Wycombe will have to wait for Taylor goalkeeper because Daniel Udo's lost his boot initially there as he managed to sort out just before the end of the first period. We've had 2 of the 3 additional minutes. Gilbert Remazzoli there just getting the ball back from the referee as Udo just sorted himself out there. It remains 0-0 between Charlton Athletic and Wycombe Wanderers. No shots on target. 3 shots to Charlton, 2 for Wycombe, so 5 in total, but none on target yet. Neither keeper yet to make a save as the ball is sent long downfield. Charlton 0, Wycombe Wanderers 0 as we come towards the end of the first half. McCleary challenging Van Leslie, heads it forward, and McCleary now picks up possession. McCleary does well. He holds up well as he looks to attack towards the end of the edge of the penalty, towards the end of this first half as the ball comes in from McCleary. Too much on that, and Connie Kern going end of it to the far post. Udo was in there too. As we come towards the end of this first half, and Mike Dodds there will be pleased with how his sides defended when Charlton's going to some dangerous positions. That's some of the chances of their own, but not yet to test the goalkeeper there as we come towards the end of this first half. As Mannion clears this ball long downfield, and there it is. There goes the half-time whistle at the end of the first half, and it remains Charlton Athletic 0, Wycombe Wanderers 0 at the end of this first half. And the scoreline and the break is a fair one. Both teams have had the chances, and both teams yet to find the breakthrough. At half-time at the end of this first half, it is Charlton Athletic 0, Wycombe Wanderers 0. Is still all to play for in the second half and in the tie as well. Join us again in around about 15 minutes time as we get ready to bring you the second half coverage of Charlton Athletic against Wycombe Wanderers in the League One playoff semi-final second leg. It's Charlton 0, Wycombe 0 at half time. Welcome back, ready for the second half of the League One playoff semi-final, second leg, and we're about to get the second half back off and underway any second now as we get ready for the second half, as we're about to get underway in the second half. Will we see a goal in the second half, or will we go to extra time this evening as Charlton gets us back off and underway in the second half as they look to put things up on the side and get ready for the second half in the end there as we get ready for the second half as the ball bounces as Wickham looks to clear the ball away. We'll run you through the two sides again next when we get a stoppage in place. Conor Coventry tries to play the ball out wide to the left hand side for Edwards, who clears the ball away. So let's run you through the Charlton side. It's Mannion, Ramsey, Jones, Gillespie, Edwards, Coventry, Doherty was on a yellow card, Small, Gilbert, Campbell and Godden. For Wickham, Ramazzoli, Grimmer, Taylor, Bradley, Reach, Humphries, Lee, McCleary, Simmons, Udo and Kone. The subs are on the screen as well, so you can have a look at your leisure of those subs. The referee is Dean Whitestone, the end in the man in the middle for this game as the long throw comes in from Charlton, headed on towards the back post. Gilbert is there in a brilliant block on the back post by Udo, back in there, brilliant defending, and it remains 0-0. That would have been a fantastic start to the second half for Wickham, for Charlton against Wickham, but Udo brilliant defending to get across there. A powerful effort from Gilbert, and Udo gets across well to make the block. I think if it had been on target, Ramazzoli would have saved it well there as Gilbert takes the corner, whipped in towards the penalty area, goes all the way through. Can Gillespie keep the ball in play? He can't. The ball runs out of play for a goal kick to Wickham Wanderers, and that was a fantastic start to the second half for the game between Charlton and Wickham, and would have been a fantastic start for Charlton Athletic this evening. Big shout out to JB who's been on, who says, who likes the new TCM graphics thing, guys? Do let us know if you do like it, guys, whether you're listening on JB Sports, my personal Twitch channel, or Commentary Up 2. Do let us know, put a yes or a no in the chat. And Paul really says this new look is fabulous. Thank you very much there, Paul, for your input. Luke, if you're still listening and you want to get involved, if you think you like this new layout or the old one, do let us know. I will bring you that. I will read out any more comments on the new layout as we're underway for the second half as the ball is played forward. Can they come forward here now as here comes Lully to bring this ball forward. Wonderful bit of play into Kone. Good ball out wide to that far side and Grimmer as Wickham attack down their right-hand side. There's Doherty, the captain, on a yellow card for Charlton. Remember, has to be careful in those situations, and he does well to clear the ball into touch and out of play for a throw-in. It remains Charlton 0, Wickham Wanderers 0 indeed. Luke says, I wonder what I think. Come on, Luke, give us your honest opinion, mate. This your viewer to the channel. Let me just see this incident again. There's Curry's had his shape. Was that pulling back there? He's back there as the ball was cleared away by Doherty. As he is. Ramazzoli who clears it away as Wickham try and come forward. Grimmer gets this ball from McCleary's up there to win the header. Coney trying to challenge as well. Headed away this time by Gillespie, who was bad there defending for Charlton. Now to play for a throw-in. Mad Dodds passes on to the number 20, Cameron Humphries, who will leave it in the end for Grimmer to come up and take. Well, he takes it back to his centre-back corner. Centre-back in Taylor across to Bradley, and there's Adam Reaches. Wickham play from right to left and send the ball, which was Udo, flicked it on, and then it's Conor Coventry to defend well and bring this ball away from danger as it remains goalless. As here comes Campbell, and there's a ball out of play for a throw-in the end to Charlton Athletics. 0-0 is a scoreline. Luke says, well, JB says, I do love the new look, very slick and professional. Thank you very much, JB. If you need any help, want to do something, if you do something for your own channel, want to look something similar to this, my friend, do get in touch with me and I'll help you it out, and we'll also get a friend to help us out as well. channels participating here on the Commentary, whether it's Commentary, main Commentary channel, Commentary 2, JB Sports, Storm FM, Focus on Football. My personal Twitch channel will be keeping this new look moving forward, guys. And if anybody who works on those channels wants any help, do let me know, and I will help you along with a friend who can help us both sit down and sort it all out in the end there. As there's going to be a goal kick to Wycombe Wanderers. 5 minutes gone in the second half. It remains Charlton 0, Wycombe 0. And if you are just tuning in for the very first time today, hello, welcome along. You don't miss much in terms of goal mouth action as Thierry Small picks up possession for Charlton Athletic into Ramsey. Ramsey does well in field, and there's Connor Coventry who does well, and he loses out now, and here comes Richard Kearney, League One Player of the Year, charging towards a penalty area, finds was McLean out of play for a throw-in to Wycombe, and that's a good bit of play. And he's saying to Kearney, he didn't want the ball there. He was saying to Richard Kearney. He thought he could play to his winger. We didn't want the ball there, McCleary. He didn't want the ball being returned to him. He was trying to take Coventry out of the picture for him so he could run in and have a shot. He didn't realise, and the attack breaks down. Charlton 0, Wycombe Wanderers 0. If you're joining into us here, as Lee sends the ball in towards the penalty area. It's up and under, ball in towards the penalty area. Breaks away here now for Humphreys. Humphreys attacks down the left hand side. Gets a crossing off of Coventry and behind for a corner for Wycombe. 51.5 minutes played in this game. Charlton 0, Wycombe Wanderers 0 is the scoreline. Will we see the opening goal of the game be scored from this corner kick, which is about to take place as the referee just having a word with a couple of players inside the penalty area. Sonny Bradley goes down. He's going to be one who's been speaking to, along with Josh Edwards there. Bradley and Edwards just being spoken to by Dean Whitestone there. We'll keep you up to date with what the other scores are in the matches as and when we can in the other games taking place this evening. It remains 0-0 in this game. Here's a corner, comes in towards a penalty area. It's cleared away. Lee is there to get the ball back to Grimmer via Adam Reachel. Sends the ball for there. Grimmer in towards the penalty area. Heads up and away. Someone's trying to get on that, but Grimmer has it again for Wycombe. Out wide to Udo. Udo attacks down that far side. It's actually Kearney towards Udo this time. Udo back to goal. Sets up a strike. He takes a deflection. Breaks out wide to Gareth McCleary. Wonderful play from Wycombe there. As Lee sends the ball forward in towards the penalty area. Udo's there. Brings it down well inside the penalty area. And it's Ramsey who clears the ball from danger. It remains 0-0. It is now 3-1 to Rochdale in their playoff qualifying round against Southend. Rodney on 8 and 56 minutes respectively. Bird on 28, Ralph on 22. In the La Liga games, there's still goals between Espanyol and Barcelona, and Getafe against Athletic Club as well in Spanish La Liga. This evening we'll keep you up to date with those scores before we end the programme this evening as well. It's a ball from McCleary is flicked onto Udo. Udo does well, but loses out to Coventry as Charlton come forward. Wonderful ball over the top there. It's headed away brilliantly by Grimmer and he's nodded down. Here is Campbell, does well there. Campbell back he goes to Edwards. Infield to Coventry. Now into Gillespie. Gillespie charges forward in towards the penalty area. Cross comes in from Gillespie. Now to play for a goal kick to Wycombe Wanderers. Almost 54 minutes on the clock. Is still goalless. And we are waiting for the first goal in this game tonight. And the graphics, I do like the graphics as well. The new look is starting to grow me a little bit as well. You may see on the ticker at the bottom the attendance for time, which was going across during half time as well. And I can tell you that the attendance tonight in our match at the Valley is 25,722 with 1,600 Wycombe Wanderers fans in attendance tonight. What is brilliant to see the Valley virtually full up this evening in what is a big game for Charlton Athletic. Can they return back to the Championship and then potentially back to the Premier League? Charlton been out of the Premier League for quite a while. Alan Kershley, one of the managers who managed Charlton in the Premier League before, he's in attendance tonight at the Valley, where Charlton are being held 0-0 by Wycombe Wanderers, and a resilient Wycombe Wanderers side as well. And from people I've spoken to have covered Wycombe this season, have said Wycombe are a really good, strong team, good defensive unit they've got, especially under Mike Dodds since he came to the football club. And that's what it looks like tonight as well, and it looked like that the weekend as well. Here comes Taylor to send the ball forward. There's Kone to flick on looking towards Udo. We can't get there in the end, and he's back now with the goalkeeper Mannion for Charlton. He lays it off for Jones. Across now to Gillespie, who sends the ball forward. I almost called him Mac there. Macaulay Gillespie, his full name is. Mac for short on the team sheet graphic, as you can see on our screens. If you're watching along, looking at the screens and listening along to us while watching the game, thank you very much for doing so. If you want to sync up with the time, and that's the time that we're on our screen, so you can sync up with the time there, so you can sync up and listen to the game and watch our coverage tonight. Still 0-0 on aggregate. So as it stands, we will be heading for extra time, and we will be heading for a potential penalty shootout should it stay like this, but not if Charlton score from this attack. As Small charges down the right hand side in towards a penalty, crossing deep. Campbell's in round the back, he comes out for Doherty. Doherty now leaves the ball back in towards the penalty area, heads it up and away. Connor Coventry and Ramsey getting each other's way, but it's worked out well for Charlton. Only as far as McCleary though this time, as the ball is up and away. And now it's Richard Kone down the other end for Wycombe Wanderers. He takes the penalty, Richard Kone takes the penalty. Richard Kone into the side net in and wide from the League One's top scorer and player of the year, should I say, and young player of the year, Richard Kone there. Brilliant bit of ball forward from McCleary there. Fantastic ball, and Kone was well up against Gillespie and just into the side netting. I'm wondering, I don't think he did, but let me just look from this angle. Did the goalkeeper get a touch there? No, it doesn't. It will be a goal kick in the end. A good play from Richard Kone there to try and score for Wycombe Wanderers. Coming towards 57.5 minutes played, still goalless between Charlton Athletic and Wycombe Wanderers in the League One playoff semi-final second leg. Tonight's winner will face Leyton Orient at Wembley in the playoff final, and I'll tell you when that playoff final is and what time that playoff final does kick off as well, and we'll try and cover that here on the channel for you if we can. On that, there might even be a delayed stream, delayed coverage. We'll try and bring all of the playoff finals if we can on the channel over the end of May, the bank holiday weekend at the end of May. Try and bring you all League One, the Championship, League One and League Two playoff finals if we can, either live or delayed coverage for you on the channel. Yeah, it comes with Doherty. Doherty now on my yellow card. Remember, their challenge on Lee in the first half. It was very unlucky to get it, in my opinion, which remains goalless. Here's Ramsey back. It goes there to Gilbert. Further back to Jones. Across to Gillespie. Gillespie further out wide now, and he gets the ball down the line. And a free kick foul on Campbell. And they've taken it quickly. It's Connor Coventry who can bring the ball forward for Charlton into Ramsey, who delivers a ball towards Campbell, ended away by Grimmer. Good play there from Wycombe's right back. Here's Connor Coventry there to get the ball back, and Campbell's in behind here. Pulls the ball back. Doherty inside the penalty. But Doherty's shot is blocked. Cleared away. Comes out to Coventry. Coventry gets the ball. Willessie went out for a throw-in. Instead, but what a game this has been. 59 minutes on the clock. Still goalless between Charlton and Wycombe. Wonderful ball back to Doherty in a block shot. Cleared away from Bradley and out of play it goes in the end. It remains Charlton 0, Wycombe Wanderers 0 as a long throw-in from Charlton is about to come. Edwards delivers a long throw-in towards the penalty area. Jones was in there, comes back to Edwards. Edwards delivers across this time in towards Jones. He's headed away. Gillespie's there, and he's just cleared away from danger by Luke Lee. Back there defending for Wycombe Wanderers. Edwards keeps the move alive as Campbell's in behind here up against Humphries. And Campbell does well up against Humphries. Wonderful play from Campbell. Campbell goes down and Humphries wins, gives away a free kick. Will he go into the referee's notebook as well here, Humphries? No, he doesn't look like it, but let me look at this again. Should it be a yellow card there or just a free kick? For me, that's just I have seen yellow cards given for those types of situations, but on that occasion, for me, personally, just a free kick should be awarded. Charlton 0, Wycombe Wanderers 0 is the scoreline. Wycombe have a free kick to defend. It's from that far left hand side, as it looks like it's going to be Gilbert to deliver the set piece in towards the penalty area. There's men up from the back. Gilbert delivers it towards the back post, and he goes all the way behind for a goal kick to Wycombe. Poor one lad there. Gillespie was round the back there and he couldn't do any of it, as it was a poor free kick in the end. 61 minutes gone, and it remains Charlton Athletic 0, Wycombe Wanderers 0. And so far, it looks like with the first new graphic, it looks like we could have a 0-0 draw, and it'll be one of my 0-0 draws for a very long time on the channel, if that is the case. In La Liga, it's half time now. Espanyol 0, Barcelona 0, and Getafe 0, Athletic Club 0 as well there. And it's still 3-1 to watch down in the National League Promotion Playoffs qualifying round against Southend United. There in those games there, as we bring you up to date with the other matches taking place this evening. He's going out for a throw into Wycombe Wanderers, as I was telling you the other scores there. Adam Reach will take the throw in for the Chairboys. It'll be a long throw from Adam Reach. Does well here, Adam Reach. Brilliant bit of play from Adam Reach here. Down the line, it goes from Adam Reach and goes out of play for a throw in to Charlton, and they get the ball forward as Charlton will try and get the ball downfield as Gilbert sends it forward. Godwin brings it down on his chest. He sends it forward towards Campbell. Headed away there by Bradley, and Reach helps it clear. Lee there too. Connor Coventry chests it down well. And Matty Godwin towards Campbell, cleared away by Bradley. And Reach helps Bradley out up towards Richard Kearney. He's headed away by Lloyd Jones. And he now picks up by Gareth McCleary. No subs just yet for either side as the ball is out wide here with McCleary. Good ball in field. It goes to Kearney, back towards McCleary. It's out-muscled there by Ramsey. Not very often I say McCleary's been out-muscled this evening, and when I've covered him before, he's not been out-muscled that many times before. Gareth McCleary, when he's, I can't remember him being out-muscled too many times before when I've watched him play as well, as Humphries wins his side. A free kick there, foul by Connor Coventry. There remains Charlton 0, Wycombe Wanderers 0 in the end there. It will be a free kick. Luke Lee will take the free kick for Wycombe Wanderers. They will send the ball long downfield. The Wycombe fans getting behind the Chairboys supporters jumping up and down away to my left hand side. And in the far corner from my left hand side as I watch on here, he takes it short Lee this time. Leaves it towards the right hand side as he tries to change direction. There's a man going down the penalty. I think it was Taylor. It was. He's wanting a foul there. The referee said no. Let's look at this again as Taylor goes down. He's got hold of his leg by Gillespie and pulled down there. That would have been a penalty, you know. Let me know what you'll think if you're not watching along with our commentary and our pictures. And it remains Charlton 0, Wycombe Wanderers 0. And so far, looks like we will be heading for extra time in another 30 minutes. Around about that final 15 minutes or so, well 20 minutes or so in this game left to play, or 25 minutes left to play in this game this evening. It remains 0-0 between Charlton and Wycombe. Been a good match, despite it being 0-0 end-to-end stuff, with no shots on target either side jet is Reach trying to change that. Can't get on end of the ball down the left flank. And he wins his side of throwing instead as Reach will leave this. And the man coming across to tail this throw-in is Luke Lee, who will tail the throw-in for Wycombe Wanderers. Men up from the back will be the likes of Caleb Taylor, Sonny Bradley, Adam Reach will be in there too, or thereabouts. Grimmer will be probably in and around the penalty area too. Humphries will be in there, McCleary, Udo, Kone will all be in the penalty area. Will Wycombe score from this set piece, from this long throw-in from Luke Lee? He does take it towards the near post. It's flicked on and they're out and away. Bradley edges it back across, comes across towards the back post. Oh no, was in there. Peeling from ball was Kone. Only him was Peeling, nobody else was. I didn't see an handball in there as Charlton managed to clear. Ollie just sends it high into the night sky and is headed away by Connor Coventry. And he's headed forward this time by Charlton, but picked up by Luke Lee. And Wycombe will come forward again. Ball over the top, looking towards Udo and Kearney. Neither of them can get them. McCleary can't get onto the rebound. Grimmer does, so in place for McCleary. Back to Grimmer again. And now Taylor has it. Lee sends the ball forward for McCleary and Kearney. Too much on that ball for the League One Player of the Year and Young Player of the Year to go and end off there. And remains goalless in this game. And so far it's 0-0 in this game. In the end, it means Charlton 0, Wycombe 0 as the ball is back in defence with Jones. It is Ramsey. Good ball in field. Back it goes to Coventry into the path there of Jones, who will knock the ball back into the path of Mannion. Gillespie looks to get the ball forward as Charlton look to clear their lines as Wycombe will try and push up on and get the pressure on as Grimmer does so there. We're only as far as Edwards. Can't pick out a man as Small trying to go in there, but he's picked up by Gilbert. Now Thierry Small down the right hand side in towards the penalty area goes. Thierry Small struggling. Can he get a strike in? Thierry Small does it. He's just wide of the far post. I thought that was going to be the opening goal of the game. Brilliant play from Thierry Small. It's been a threat for Wycombe's defence all evening. Brilliant bit of play. Thierry Small cuts in field and he drags his effort just wide of the post. So unlucky. So unlucky there. In the end of the game, Thierry Small just wide, and he's played a really good part tonight. He's been a threat from Charlton's perspective. And he looks as though the number 22 for Charlton Athletic, Chuck Zanike, is warming up, limbering up about potentially could be coming on soon. I'm wondering who he's going to be for though. It'll be Matty Godden as he plays up front, Chuck Zanike, or potentially Alex Gilbert, who is playing in that number 10 role this evening and he can play there as well. Or it might even be for Thierry Small, which would be a shock if he was him and went off. It looks like Chuck Zanike will not be coming on just yet. It didn't look like he was just limbering up on the sidelines before getting some final instructions to come on. The ball's not going out of play yet. Wycombe managed to keep it in and send the ball forward down the line. It breaks into the path there of Udo and is cleared away. Ball up into there and out. A play for a throw-in. And it will be Ramsey to take the throw. Back it goes. Well here into back to Jones and the cross there now to Gillespie. Gets the ball out wide into the path of Bradley. Bradley Edwards, should I say. Edwards charges forward. Wonderful challenge back by Wycombe to get the ball back as Grimmer looks to send McCleary away. McCleary charging forward down that right hand side. Wonderful play from Gareth McCleary. Low centre cross cleared away from danger. And ball is bad then. There's a man who goes down, which was Campbell. No free kick given. Taylor went down too as Wycombe continue to play on his reach. Sends this ball forward. Wonderful turn away. And now Can he keep the ball in play? He can't. Udo then, he run the ball out of play. And Daniel Udo, too much on that ball, runs it out of play and remains goalless. It's Charlton 0, Wycombe Wanderers 0 is the scoreline this evening. As Charlton will make the first substitution of the game as Thierry Small is the man coming off, and coming on is Chuck Sanike. And I'm surprised by that decision. Small didn't deserve to be substituted there, in my opinion. But Chuck Sanike will come on in his place, and he perhaps says 70 minutes on the clock when that substitution was made for Charlton Athletic, and I'm surprised by that one because Thierry Small, for me, was Charlton's bright spark out on that field of play there this evening. I was very, very surprised that he went off there, and I'm surprised by that, to be honest, because he's been their bright spark as Campbell's moved out to this near side. Anike's on that left hand side. We've got him through the middle now. Yuba remains in the 10 as Charlton win a free kick. Foul on Campbell. And Chuck Sanike inside the penalty area at the far post. Gollan's in there too. Jones is up from the back. Ramsey's getting up from the back. On a commentary will be in around the penalty area as well. It remains Charlton 0, Wycombe Wanderers 0. If you just tune into us here on the commentary up to JB Sports and my personal Twitch channel, Russell P. Vernon _92 as the ball is in and cleared away from danger. And Charlton, through Edwards, trying to get back to his goalkeeper. We couldn't get a clean connection on that to get it back there. Scollins in behind now. Matty Scollins in behind. But the offside flag is raised, and he will not count that goal there in the end. And we see the goal there, and we see the ball again as Matty Gollan, as that's flicked on. He's onside. It looks like he's onside to me. It looks like the foot of Grimmer plays him on. But the flag went up this time. So now Gollan a chance to run through and put the ball in the back of the net. It was very, very tight. Well, Wycombe are about to make a substitution here. And coming on is number 44, Fred Onyedinma. And he's replacing number 24, Richard Kone, here now for Wycombe Wanderers. So Fred Onyedinma is on in place of Richard Kone in this game this evening on 73 minutes. As Richard Kone comes off behind the goal, away to my left hand side, and he claps the fans behind that goal there, Richard Kone. As Fred Onyedinma, former Rotherham United loanee, comes on in his place, and Kone has some chances tonight, but didn't really test the goalkeeper. The Wycombe fans clapping their store boy, the League One player and young player of the year, comes off to a standing ovation. And Fred Onyedinma now on in his place as Udo moves into the central role with Onyedinma on the right and McCleary moving out to this left hand side. But here's McCleary now back into Udo. Brilliant bit of play. There's number 7, Simmons. Good ball out wide towards Humphries. And Ramsey gets there. He goes out to play for a throw into Charlton. And that is brilliant piece of defending. Brilliant piece of skill there. And that's a fantastic sliding challenge and a good, brilliantly blocked effort there. 0-0 is the scoreline. Will we see extra time and potentially penalties? We're around about 16 minutes to go in this game, and I can tell you we're yet to have a shot on target. We've had 11 shots in the game. Charlton have had 6, Wycombe have had 5, but none have tested either Mannion or Ravazoli in goal. I wonder, will that change? And there were some chances on Sunday where they were testing the goalkeepers. Tonight, neither goalkeeper has been tested. He's either played for a throw into Charlton on that far side, the final 14 minutes to the final 16 minutes of the game. Charlton 0, Wycombe 0. As we watch this game unfold, will we see an opening goal of this game, or will we have to go all the way to extra time and potentially penalties? Here comes Charlton inside the penalty area. Campbell's shot is blocked. Comes out to Ramsey, who's been urged to shoot. He does so. Will he get a second back to the train? No, plays it through to goal. Campbell. Crossed in towards better edit from Gilbert. Can't get there. He goes down on the challenge. No penalty given. It's Fred Onyedinma. Clears the ball away. And he's coming forward with it now, Fred Onyedinma. Edwards has been beaten by Onyedinma. He's done really well here, Fred Onyedinma. Is still going. Wonderful play from Onyedinma. Can he score here? Would it be a great solo goal if he does? Onyedinma across. McCleary shot blocked. Lee! Oh, shot blocked. It was Simmons there actually, not Lee who had that shot, which was blocked. Grimmy now coming forward. Into the penalty area. Close to the penalty area he goes. Onyedinma. Humphries can't get there as Gilbert intercepts and Charlton will come away with possession. Ramsey. Well, Charlton, fortunately, they're the man back blocking the effort off there. And Ravazzoli claims that ball forward from Ramsey as he looked to pick out Matt Godden in the attack there. But brilliant piece of defending from Ramsey along with some of us a few moments ago. Ball is sent forward. Headed up and away out for a throw-in. Here now in a brilliant bit of run from Onyedinma. We're looking at that chance again. Brilliant ball across. The clearing shot blocked. Comes out to the number 7 there, Simmons. And it was blocked by the same man there, Ramsey. 2 fantastic blocks from the right back. Brilliant piece of defending. Read the danger, saw the danger and cleared it away. Out of play for a throw-in now. 76 to 90th minute. Most of the goals this season, Wycombe with 20, Stockport with 20, Bolton and Charlton both have 18, so we could see a late flurry of goals from either one of these sides. I hope I've not put the cursor in now there as the ball is played forward and Wycombe have got the ball back with Grimmer. He gives the ball away to Doherty. Doherty gets the ball forward. Anike can't keep the ball in play. He goes down to play for a throw-in anyway to Charlton Athletic. Edwards will take the throw-in. He wants to get on with it quickly, but there's no movement. And we see movement on the bench here for Charlton Athletic. I think that was Anderson getting ready to come on here for Charlton. Next time we have a stoppage in play. And the substitute is ready. Looks like Anderson getting changed down below us. On that far side. Here comes Doctor Udo's there, he does well. Nips in twice, but he puts down the play for a throw-in. The substitute isn't ready yet for Charlton, so the play will continue for now. As Anderson sits down and gets some instructions. As the ball is sent forward. Header is away. Ball hit forward in towards the penalty. McGonn's in behind you. Bradley's there. Back to Ravazzoli. Well there from Sonny Bradley. And that's a brilliant piece of defensive work. There, that's absolutely fantastic. Brilliant stuff. There in the end is Charlton 0, Wycombe Wanderers 0 is the scoreline as a ball is played for by Connor Coventry. He bounces out of play for a throw-in. So Anderson's just sat with his shirt on and on the bench waiting for further instructions. We're looking at Matty Godden's touch map, only 3 inside the opposition penalty area and 2 inside his own penalty area, which is not very good for a striker who's normally prolific like Matty Godden in League One. He's out of play for a throw-in to Wycombe Wanderers as they will try and find a way through this evening. Will we see a goal this evening, or will my run of games with goals in them come to an end this evening when we trial our new graphic out? It remains Charlton 0, Wycombe Wanderers 0 is the scoreline as the ball is hit forward by Charlton. Wycombe with McCleary flicks the ball on looking for Udo and he's cleared away again this time. Headed up by Bradley. Lee flicks it on. Only as far as Coventry. Into Campbell. Campbell He's got Ramsey outside of him. He finds Ramsey. Ramsey's going to come outside of him as the ball comes in. Gunnan can't get there, too near the goalkeeper. Ravazzoli in the end, and he read that situation well there, did the Wycombe goalkeeper. Brilliant bit of play from Ramsey, takes a touch out of his feet, and leaves it too near the Wycombe goalkeeper, and then sends this ball forward. Looking for the run there of McCleary and Udo out there, and Onyedinma was out there as well as out of play for a throw-in. League One playoff final is on Sunday the 25th of May. We'll tell you the kick-off time at the end of this, and we'll let you know who will be joining Leyton Orient. It's a free kick to Charlton Athletic. Midway, in just a couple of yards back from the halfway line, inside their own half. The ball is sent forward towards the penalty area. Godden was trying to get an end of that, but Onyedinma back there, trying to help the ball forward as Wycombe just defending well through Taylor. Wycombe yet to make a substitute as Jones is in, missed the chance in the first half, makes for Matty Godden, and Matty Godden has scored, and Charlton Athletic have opened the scoring. Matty Godden in the 81st minute has given his side the lead in the League One playoff semi-final, and a goal has come through Matty Godden, and Charlton Athletic lead tonight, and they lead on aggregate as well by a goal to nil. Matty Godden with the pitch, and I mentioned he's a prolific striker in League One, and he does his job there, does what he's paid to do. Jones can't get there, and he's bundled into the path of Matty Godden, who finds it into the back of the net, which is the net is unmarked, and Charlton Athletic could be heading to the League One playoff final to take on Leyton Orient. And Godden is the one who has got that goal for Charlton Athletic this evening. You can see what it means to Nathan Jones and the Charlton Athletic bench and the fans. That goal is a big goal, and he's gone the way of Charlton Athletic. Wycombe will be heartbroken. They've had some chances of their own, but didn't get any on target, and that is the first shot on target in the game, and he's gone in one Charlton fan, lifted his shirt over his head, and it's 1-0 now to Charlton Athletic. Matty Godden with the goal for Charlton Athletic to give his side the lead. And could that be the goal which sends them to Wembley? What a finish from Matty Godden. What a game this has been tonight. Anna Valley, he's had chances, but that was the first shot on target in the game. I just want to give a big shout out to Tom Bates. He says, yes now Russ, I must say, I for one really like the new look graphics theme of the TC Hub. The menu is Bob on the money. Big thank you to you, my friend. Really do appreciate that, as we're about to see a change here as Anderson will be coming on for Charlton in a moment. Just trying to work out who it's going to come on for. But Anderson will be coming on for Charlton Athletic, and he's replacing number 17, Alex Gilbert, in the 84th minute for the Addicts. Gilbert has played well tonight, ran himself into the ground, and Anderson comes on to replace him. Roy Anderson on to replace Alex Gilbert in the 84th minute of this game, as Charlton Athletic lead by a goal to nil. Can Wycombe find a way back into this game and send us into extra time? If they score and it's a draw after 90 minutes, we will have extra time. But as it stands right now, it will be Charlton Athletic who will be facing Leyton Orient in the League One playoff final on Sunday the 25th of May, with the kick-off time of... The kick-off time for that one will be 1 o'clock in the afternoon, due to the Premier League being the Premier League final day of the season on that evening. Well, that afternoon as well. At 4 o'clock, the Premier League will kick off on the final day of the season, where every team kicks off at the exact same time. Here's Campbell for Charlton. And there's a foul there on Anderson, who wins his side a free kick. It's Luke Lee, who's the man who was being fouled here, who should I say, given the foul away here. And no yellow card there. And I've got to say, with only one yellow card, with some of the changes that's gone in, I'm surprised at that. Then I'm surprised that Wycombe have only used one substitution tonight, if I'm honest. But there we have it. It remains Charlton 1, Wycombe 0, and Wycombe look like they're going to make another change any minute now. Number 21, Codua. Gideon Codua will be coming on next time the ball goes out of play. And there's a stoppage in play for Charlton, for Wycombe Wanderers. He'll be the one who will be coming on. But we have got the breakthrough finally in this game. It came through Matty Godden just a few moments ago in the game on 81 minutes. We're into the 86th. We're towards the 86th minute now. There's a free kick from Conover straight down the throat there of Ravensdolly, who can send it long downfield towards Fred Onyedinma. And Fred Onyedinma can't keep the ball in play, goes out of play for a throw in. And it's going to be a triple substitution here for Wycombe Wanderers. Coming off, we'll have number 7, which is Javi Simmons. He's going to be replaced by Kieran Sadlier. We're going to have number 12, Gareth McCleary, to be replaced by number 42, Vestergaard, Magnus Vestergaard. And the third and final change sees Codua on for Adam Reach. Last one is Codua on for Reach, is the last substitution for Wycombe Wanderers there. We'll go through those substitutes again in just a moment in case you missed them, as Charlton trying to get him behind here and defender remains 1-0 to Charlton Athletic. So we'll run you through those changes again in a minute or two's time, to get you all the confirmations of all the substitutes that have come on there, as Campbell's down, receiving some treatment for a bit of cramp here now. So we can tell you there was Vestergaard, Sadlier and Codua on. Is Simmons who went off. McCleary went off. And the last one that went off was Adam Reach, as Charlton make a substitution as Tyrese Campbell is replaced by Tenai Watson, with the substitute there for Charlton Athletic. And it remains Charlton 0, Charlton 1, Wycombe Wanderers 0, should I say, as Tyrese Campbell has just been replaced by Tenai Watson. In the end, for Charlton Athletic there, as Charlton try and see down the clock. In a moment, I will be announcing my player of the match on the channel, and it'll be coming across, and the ticker will be coming off just for a moment while I do announce the player of the match this evening, which we'll announce in just a second after this next attack from Charlton. If they can score, Matty Godden's in behind, well, the flag is up again for offside. The Scotland chips the keeper. It goes into the back of the net. It will not count though. The offside flag was up. Then in the end, The offside goal has been chalked off for offside. There in the end, as we get ready to announce the player of the match, which is sponsored by the brilliant people over at Commentary Services, and I can tell you tonight, the player of the match goes to the number 26 of Charlton Athletic, Thierry Small, as we enter 4 minutes of stoppage time at the end of this game this evening, as Thierry Small is the player of the match, sponsored by Commentary Services. Fantastic player tonight. Was a real threat when he was on the field of play, and he caused them a number of problems tonight. But we have gone into 4 minutes of stoppage time, but Thierry Small is the player of the match this evening. We're into stoppage time now. 4 of those minutes gone. I can tell you tonight's attendance is 25,722, 1,600 from Wickham. Looks like they'll be going home, not going into the League One playoff final this season, as we bring you the closing stages of this game. It remains 1-0 to Charlton Athletic. I can tell you, in the game between Rochdale and Southend in the National League playoffs, is Rochdale 3, Southend United 3. Opera on 74, Chambers Paralian on 80 minutes of the goals there, as Charlton through Godden taking it to the corner and trying to win his side of the corner, which didn't come off there, but it's 3-3 between Rochdale and Southend in the National League playoffs. Barcelona have taken lead against Espanyol in La Liga. Lamine Yamal on 53 minutes. Getafe against Athletic Club remains 0-0. In the other matches taking place this evening, and it remains Charlton 1, Wickham Wanderers 0. If you're just tuning into us this evening, what a game we have got tonight. Been a fantastic game here in the Valley. Only 1 goal to show for it, and I've got to say that both sides, up until Godden scored, have been woeful in front of goal and with shots on target. They've had chances, but not on target. That's a brilliant challenge there from Watson to win his side of throwing, it looks like. And he's done really, really well there. Kieran Sadler on that side, back to his feet, as Ramsey will take a throw in. Will he? He's having a quick word with Jones as he looks to try and run the clock down. We've almost played 3 of those 4 additional minutes end of this game. It is Charlton 1, Wickham Wanderers 0. He got in with the goal in 81 minutes. The difference as it stands right now and where the game will end is going to be a one last attack for Charlton to try and put the seal on their place at Wembley. Can they do that? Charlton Athletic here with this run is blocked off by Sunday Bradley, but Doherty, who's seen his side win a throw in. Nathan Jones is wanting his team to get it into the corner, taking it into the corner, it says. Throw it into the corner, he's telling Edwards. He's telling his players to get into the corner. He wants you to go down into the corner, and that's where he's gone. And he's held up in the corner there by Anike. Jackson Anike does well down in the corner. He's battling for it. Free kick, it goes the way of Wickham Wanderers. They take it quickly as they look to get the ball forward. Will Charlton get over the line? We've played over the 4 minutes now. It's a free kick to Charlton Athletic. Edwards who's gone down injured here. And it remains 1-0 to Charlton Athletic. In this game. And will the full time whistle go any second now? Nathan Jones playing there, he's already gone. He's just waiting for the final moments. He was down on his haunches, playing there. was Nathan Jones. He's praying for the final whistle. Heading in time for Nathan Jones. It looks like he may be starting to cry here. The Charlton bench are up on their feet, waiting for the whistle to go. And with tears of joy that is coming from Nathan Jones in a moment. And there it is. The full-time whistle has gone. And Charlton Athletic are through to the League One playoff final to take on Leyton Orient at Wembley. What a game it has been here. The fans have flooded the pitch at Charlton Athletic. It will be Leyton Orient versus Charlton Athletic in the final of the League One playoffs. Sunday, the 25th of May, 1 PM UK time kick-off. Will be the kick-off time for the playoff final on Sunday the 25th of May. With Leyton Orient beat Charlton Athletic for a place in the Championship next season. What a game it's been here. Charlton left in late. Matty got in the 80th minute with the goal, the only goal of the game. As you can see on our screen, on your screens there, the only goal of the game with 10 minutes to go through Matty Godden. That was enough to see his side through to the playoff final. Nathan Jones embarks on down the tunnel while the fans are on the pitch. The players from Wickham are in the tunnel as well. As they ran straight down the tunnel, Matty Godden is on the pitch with some of the supporters. He's calling down a few players. I think it may be his family. He's calling down onto the pitch to come and celebrate with him. But what a moment for Charlton Athletic. They're through to the League One playoff final. They're taking on Leyton Orient for a place in the Championship next season. That game will take place on Sunday the 25th of May, 1 PM kick-off at Wembley Stadium. Who will be going up to the Championship at the end of May, on May weekend, or the Spring Bank weekend holiday. But from all of the team here at the Commentary Hub to JB Sports and my personal Twitch channel this evening, big thank you to you for listening. If you've enjoyed our coverage tonight and enjoyed the graphics, new graphics that's been on show tonight, do let us know down in the comment section below once this video has been finished. You can reach out to us on Twitter as well. Commentary Live on tweet us there and let us know your thoughts. But full-time score here, Charlton Athletic 1, Wickham Wanderers 0. Just a few scores is now Rochdale 3, Southend 4, Kendal in the 101st minute has put Southend 4-3 up in the promotion playoff qualifying round. It's still 1-0 to Barcelona, 169 minutes, 72 minutes gone. It's Getafe 0, Athletic Club 0. They've played 103 minutes in the National League promotion playoff qualifying round. But full time at the Valley, Matty Godden's goal, 10 minutes from time the difference, as Charlton Athletic book their place at Wembley on the 25th of May against Leyton Orient. 1 o'clock kick-off. Thank you very much for listening to the coverage tonight. Thank you to my brilliant behind-the-scenes man, working on those graphics for us as the game went on, keeping you updated with all the team changes on the screen and underneath our brilliant new scoreboard. If you like the way we've done it tonight, do let us know. But for myself, Russ, and the rest of the team here, thank you very much for listening. And we'll see you again soon here on the Commentary Hub 2, JB Sports, my personal Twitch channel, Storm FM, and Focus on Football. Until next time, goodbye and good night for now.